Here. Welcome to another workshop here at the Life School. And today I'm going to talk about scaling your company to the next level, buying back your time, but also building your company separately from you as the owner and the CEO and the founder of the company, so that your company is an independent entity. And of course, it will be valued for higher valuation, but also it will be an asset that maybe tomorrow you could potentially sell if that is what one of your goals is. So today we're going to dive right into three of the main things that, or I should say 6 pillars that you need to be able to know wherever you are in the journey of entrepreneurship. Most of you might be seasoned entrepreneurs. You might be in the business phases and stages of anywhere under $1 million or 1 to 10 million in revenue, and also from 3 to 300 people in your team. That's usually the sweet spot, so to speak, where you kind of need you need the information that I will share with you so that you know how to scale at the next level, but also, again, buy back lots of your time so that a lot of the operations that you are part of can absolutely support you in scaling at the next level, but also ensuring that your company is efficient, but also ensuring that obviously you have the right time to be able to put inside your company. So without further ado, I would love to share my screen with you and go over a little bit of the information that I would like to share with you today around today's workshop. So growing a foundational legacy company and business. So before I dive into the important content today, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Ilona Lipari, CEO and founder of the Life School, where we help companies scale their purpose and profits through fractional operations, HR services, and done-for-you business management services. I'm also a prior Fortune 500 C-suite executive, best-selling author, speaker, award winner, and then featured in New York and CEO Weekly and Time Business News. In addition to that, of course, my portfolio is built over the years of helping businesses scale with 100+ companies that have doubled and tripled their impact and their revenue. So that's a little bit about me. So let's dive right into the next section of today's workshop. If you're experiencing any of these pain points in your company at this time, meaning you don't have the consistent systems in place to really drive consistent cash flow in your company, or you are feeling that you don't have enough clients, then that's definitely you're in the right place. And what I will share today will absolutely support you in helping you with that main pain point. The next one is maybe you have the first, but you don't have time away from the business. You have become a slave to the business. You're working more than 8 hours a day. I think 8 hours might be ideal for most company CEOs, but you might be working 24 hours a day with no work-life harmony, then this will be very valuable for you as well. Or if you have the third problem, which is you have reached a certain level of scaling and you don't necessarily know, you're stuck at that ceiling and you don't know how to get past that and get to the next level, whether it's a gap in your knowledge or strategy, or gap in your systems, or gap in your hiring, right? There's always a gap as to why we can't scale past a certain ceiling in our companies. So if any of those 3 pain points speak to you, then you're in the right place. And then, of course, you might be looking for all those 3 things that we talked about. Third one, most important, because most of you might understand the difference between sales and profitability. You can have tons of sales in your company, but that does not mean that your company is profitable. So I want to make sure that you have profitable income to reinvest back in the business and other areas for a higher return on your investment, whether it's your time or your money. So I'm going to jump right into the pillars. If you have any questions, anything that pops up as I'm going through the content today, definitely keep those in mind. There's a Q&A box inside Zoom. So just throw your questions in the chat, and then at the end of the workshop, I'll be able to answer anything you have, and also personalize this content to your own, pain point and to your desired results and vision that you have for your company, so that you're walking away with new dots connected in your journey today. So the first and foremost, the first pillar is always mindset, vision, mission, values. Again, it's important to understand that whatever got you to a certain level and stage and phase of business growth, in that stage that you're in is not necessarily going to be the same thing that's going to help you get to the next level and scale. So it's really important to have a very clear personal and company vision, mission, and value statement so that you and the people around you, if you have team with you, your team is really aligned around the same priorities. Next one is shifting into long-term visionary CEO mindset. Again, building a company that's an asset beyond yourself, so that it can become a valuable asset for later on if you want to sell or attract investors or attract stockholders or go public, right? If any of those is one of your goals, then really shifting into the long-term visionary CEO mindset will be the key to being able to make decisions today for the health and the future of your company growth tomorrow. Third one is aligning your business model with the current stage of business. So for most of you here, you're in the service space, but it works the same in a product-based business model. So whatever might have gotten you, whatever business model might have gotten you that was competitive and was making you profit at a certain level of stage of your company, it's probably not the same business model that's going to be, I guess, viable for you to be able to leverage so that you could scale, right? Because most of people in the service space are all starting at trading time for money. So the next levels of growth are trading your money for your time and then trading time for time. So as you're going to scale through the journey of scaling your company and journey as well, you'll realize that your business model shifts and evolves for scaling purposes. So understanding if you have the right business model, I have seen is a very important, crucial piece in knowing, where you're going and whether you're in the right place and whether you are problem solving for the right priorities in your company growth. Next one is your branding. Just like anything, branding is your thought leadership in the marketplace, your brand positioning, your brand awareness, your story, your mission, your values, your cause. How is it that people see you and a company, in your company, I should say, in the marketplace? And how are you different from a similar business that does similar things to what you do? So there's a few important pillars to know about branding. Is positioning. Again, we all start with personal branding. I think it's important today too, especially if you're in a service space, to go from the scaling of your personal brand into your company brand, because the two should really be interconnected. And today is very content oriented and technology advanced marketplace and environment that we are currently all operating in. So it's important to really align both of those. Position yourself as the expert and authority in your niche, also your company. Position your business model, which is your problem, solution, process, and result. How is it that you actually get people results and for who? Position your ideal audience and messaging in the marketplace, whether, again, you are after B2C or B2B opportunities. If that is your market, then understanding the right messaging. Messaging is key. Because if we have the wrong messaging for the wrong audience, we will absolutely not make any progress. But if we have the right messaging for the right audience, then of course we're heading in the right direction to scale. Content strategy to increase visibility, trust building in the marketplace. Trust is such an important factor in business because at the end of the day, what is branding? It's all about relationships. It's who knows you, not who obviously but who knows you and your company. So understanding the right strategy for your content to position you really well, but also be able to build the trust and increasing the visibility in the right channels and venues so that you are always top of mind and your brand awareness is always working for you. So that, again, you can stay relevant and you can stay top of mind for the people that you're serving. Podcast starting and growth strategies. Podcasting is a great channel to be able to build brand awareness, but also be able to tie that into your business model profitability. Book publishing and growth strategies. That's also another amazing channel to be able to create leverage, thought leadership in the marketplace, but also open you up for the visibility. I say the next level of visibility, especially where we are in the marketplace, is speaking. So open you up for speaking opportunities where visibility is at its highest level because people are seeing you, you're sharing value, you're building trust much faster. And also people have another way to be able to see how is it that you further can support them. And book publishing and speaker business models to be built alongside your main business model are absolutely helpful to be able to position you really well for branding. And then the last one, of course, is the good old media features, speaking growth opportunities with your current audiences and new audiences. A very repetitive business operation is always connecting and going to show up and invisible and speak in other people's audiences. And of course, having a great strategy to be able to bring those audiences to your own ecosystem and brand. So that's kind of what branding is about in the pillar of branding. And of course, at every phase and stage, we know branding is such an important piece of scaling because if you already built trust in the marketplace, you've done the hardest job, the hardest part of anything we do, so that you have more leverage when you're able to scale or even tap into higher level business development relationships that you might be potentially looking into. So branding is very powerful. Next one is the marketing piece. So marketing, again, every business operates or the profitability revenue piece of every business really relies very heavy on its marketing and sales efforts. So as far as marketing is concerned, it's really about, again, traffic, bringing in the right traffic, the right eyeballs, the right attention onto you and your company. So building your ideal audiences, whether it's online and offline, whether you have a physical business model or an online business model, or you have a hybrid, it's really works all the same, understanding how to get to the people that you want to be in front of. Building trust with your ideal audience by adding value. One of the fastest activities to build trust faster and shorten the process of prospect journeys, which I'll talk about in the next pillar, is to add value. The more value you add, the faster you build trust, and the more optimal you're seen in the eye of the people that you could support. And of course, that will increase your revenue and your purpose as well. Creating systems in the business to continuously support income stability and growth. Business is really a big channel of repeatable, simplified processes that just rinse and repeat. It's boring, I know, but boring is where magic is, because then you have a business that is sustainable. If we're just doing one thing, throwing spaghetti on the wall and using one strategy and that, maybe helped us, but you can't repeat it, and you can't get the same results, then of course you don't have a sustainable business or profit, or a strategy, I should say, in your marketing so that you can rinse and repeat. So understanding how to do that is important. Building and expanding a strategic network of warm audience proximity. Business development is crucial. Understanding where your time is the most wisely placed or positioned as the CEO and founder is absolutely an ongoing business activity that at each stage and phase of your business growth journey, you will prioritize this time differently. But leveraging high-level relationships for collaborators, strategic partners, JV partners, all the like, it's really important as you grow. Last one is, of course, organic and paid marketing strategies. So figure out, whether you have optimized your organic ways to be able to market, and then look for obviously paid marketing strategies to be able to continue to grow your traffic with the right audience. Next pillar is, of course, our dear sales. So after marketing comes sales. So creating a step-by-step repeatable sales process to convert relationships into clients and fans. So it's all about journeys. Do you have a predictable prospect journey? Is it repeatable? Do you have teams on it? Are you, on the right process? And is the process optimized so that obviously your conversion is high? Master the process of authentic heart-led selling. It's important, especially in today's world where the audiences are very mature and people are sold out, so to speak, meaning they're, nowadays the consumer has the information already. So it's just a matter of their vetting you, if you are the right person for them, if you align with their values, align with the cause, the mission, the story, and all of that. And obviously, how are you different from other people in supporting them and solving their main problem? So sales processes have absolutely changed. So being authentic with sales is really important, especially with the introduction of AI, where you tend to compromise some of the trust factors because of the capabilities of automated sales systems that might be implemented. Building a sales ecosystem around the business generates and consistently closes clients is really important because again, this process should also be another rinse and repeat. If you don't always fuel the right people into your sales ecosystem, then your ecosystem will eventually die out and you're not going to have enough people or a pool of people to tap into to be able to increase your revenue. And then last one is building a referral and an upsell system in the business in your company to retain current clients. So there's two main journeys in any company. It's your prospect journey, it's your client journey. Both those journeys have to really be dialed in because it needs to be a very predictable step-by-step process into the retention of your current clients, upselling opportunities, lifetime value of a client, and also retaining their retention and referral strategy. So understanding the whole strategy behind that is really important as you scale, as well as you probably will add to the impact of many more clients that you've helped and building the right testimonials under those results you have been able to achieve for others. The other pillar is systems. Again, just like anything, if a company is going to be independent from its owner and be an entity that really strives on its own, it needs to have systems because at scale level, obviously you'll have tons of things happening at once. So if things are not streamlined, then of course, who's going to be able to ensure that the right activities are moving forward in the right direction? This absolutely connects with the operations piece. So implementing systems in the business to support repeated tasks, standard operating procedures, rinse and repeat processes, like how I like to call it in very simple language. So anything that rinse and repeats in the business that obviously is feeding into your purpose and profit should be part of a system. Implemented, of course, technology, ChatGPT, all the ways that we can automate tasks that don't need a human behind them. I think that's smart to do. And then implementing, again, standard operating procedures for things that you are doing or your team is doing. And then, of course, creating in the next pillar, which is the team, really creating playbook trainings and playbook onboarding procedures for your teams so that they could take a lot of the things that you're doing and then you can delegate it out to the right people so that you're always pretty much the person that is kind of doing this process intuitively, but also you are the person that understands what is the highest level value activities that you want to focus on as the owner. Not only because obviously they're also in your area of genius, but also because you're going to be developing your business further faster. So understanding what that is really crucial. When it comes to team, of course, is hiring and onboarding support team and the right team members, hiring and structuring your current leadership and operations team. I have a 5-person process that I help companies scale, which is executive assistant, marketing, sales, executive assistant, customer success person, and client success person, marketing, sales, and team. So 5 people you really need in your company to be able to move you as the owner out of the company, and then rinse and repeat to be able to scale that process. So assessing and hiring strategic partnership opportunities, but also, of course, having the right systems in place to hire, onboard, and train current and team members. And again, leveraging lots of playbooks for training so that your team is empowered and you are operating as the leader rather than the micromanager, because again, you just created yourself a bigger job by just hiring people that you're just telling them what to do. And eventually that's going to really chokehold the growth of your business. So it's also important in the leadership aspect to know how to leverage the right people, so the people are also empowered in their positions and problem solving alongside with you, in addition to the rinse and repeat processes that they are all in charge of doing. So those are the main pillars that I believe are really important in scaling any company, really any industry, any size, any level, any stage of growth. Because I've seen that with businesses, at the end of the day, business is just like a big entity with repeatable processes. And once you understand the right processes to be able to focus on, then of course you will have a well-oiled machine that's always increasing, impacting the right metrics and KPIs, key performance indicators, and then focusing on the right priorities on the P&L, profit and loss statement, but also is, supporting and has the right people in the right places, so that it can scale its impact and its revenue as well, and profits. So if you have any questions so far, definitely put those questions in the chat. Meanwhile, while you do that, I want to share with you 3 of the most important questions that I usually get when it comes to scaling any company. So go ahead, put those in the chat. One of the questions that I always get is which business model will support my financial goals and help me scale? This is a really important question because there's always a lot of confusion around what kind of business model will be supporting you financially at the current phase and stage of business growth that you're in, but also ensure that you are aligned with the right business model that's going to be scalable. Because there's tons of, especially for startups, if you're in a service space, there's tons of people trading their time for money. And with that business model, you can't scale. So you have to figure out how to align another business model that's more one-to-many, so that you're able to remove your time from the process and then clarify a SOP process, a systems, a standard operating procedure process, and how you actually drive a certain result to your clients, and then finding a channel to be able to structure that specific business model so that it rinse and repeats and it can be applied to many more people. So that's usually what I would say when it comes to the answer to that question. Another question that I always get is, how do I know which income producing actions to focus on and which time of my growth stage of my business? Or I guess another way that I've heard it asked is really around, how do I know which priorities to focus on that are going to bring me obviously revenue, and also going to ensure that are creating the impact that businesses want. And that, of course, changes. But once that's why I'm very passionate about teaching people the bigger framework about growing and scaling a company, which I talked about today. Because once you know the bigger framework, then obviously you can then focus on the missing dots or in the puzzle pieces in your particular journey, and the right investments that you need to make, the right resources you need to gather, whether it's the right tool or systems, or whether it's the right team to support you. Because then by knowing where you are and what is the right problem that you want to solve, you can assure that you are saving time and you are buying back time, because now you're focusing on the right priorities and moving the needle forward faster with the right things that are gonna help you at that phase of stage of growth. So I hope that clarifies that question. And then the third one is, how do I know how to scale back my time? This is always a pain point when companies get bigger and you have a lot of, well, not a lot of complexities, because if you bring it down to just processes, then it's really should be simple rinse and repeat processes, right? But that's the overwhelming piece of lots of founders and CEOs. As the company gets bigger, they have more responsibilities, more team, more resources, more clients, more communities, more business development activities. So the challenge is always to know, okay, so where do I focus my time to bring me back time? It's always the exercise of what I always do, which is what are the right activities that are going to move you forward. So once you have that clarity first, then you're going to sit down and then go through your team and your resources to see if you can delegate some of that out to the people you've hired, or maybe you need to create a whole new position. So once you have that clarity, then you can thirdly focus on, okay, so where is it that I need to put my time into? And then, of course, agenda that into your calendar, time manage that. Because if we don't time manage, our calendar, then obviously we're going to have the activities on there that are not going to be of highest value and impact for you as a CEO and founder. And that way you can free up your money piece or the revenue piece to reinvest back in the business, so that now you start really taking away a lot of your time from your company. And then money is then going to start to make you more money, but also is going to ensure that you're contributing towards the right purpose-driven activities that are important to you and your company. So that's kind of some of the suggestions of how do you actually buy back some of your time, which is absolutely a pain point as you get more established in your business and you scale further, scale the company further. So, all right. If there are no questions here, I see. No worries. I always say that if there are no questions, that I probably was very clear in my message. So I hope it was the second part. But yeah, I would like to share with you some of my customer testimonials. So Corinne here, she's a health coach, and she helped people lose weight and also have more vitality in their lives and increase their youth. So we worked with her in her business model of her program. And this is kind of what she had to say in our experience working with her and helping her scale her company. Talking about, teaching and implementing the right foundational pillars, but also understanding how to have those skills for life, pretty much. I'm a big believer of education. Teach a man how to fish, and obviously they can fish for life. And that's kind of similar things that we did here. And of course, we're able to double and triple her revenue with her program and reach the right audiences, the right people that she was able to support, while also scaling her purpose and helping people get healthier. We say health is absolutely everybody's wealth. Tammy here, self-love coach, such important work in the world. Self-love is where it's at, because, once we have that, then of course, everything else is going to be in good alignment. So we work with her again on her program and bringing that out to market and reaching the right people. She had some success with courses that she had purpose, some of her processes in helping clients with self-love, with gaining self-love. But we repurposed her business model based on financial goals and where she was in the journey. So of course she was able to scale faster that way. We even started utilize the channel of podcasting and writing a book to be able to help her with some of the brand visibility and also the brand positioning as her personal brand grows and as her company brand also scales at the next level. So that was Tammy's story. And then Brenda, she's the CEO and founder of Loan and Credit Restoration Specialist of J&K. Loan and credit restoration company. And with Brenda, we did similar work with scaling. Her current business model was taking all of her time. The process she was using to give people results and helping them restore their credit was very, very long. And we had a lot of things in the process and resources that she could potentially scale and delegate. So we did lots of that with her team as well. She had a team of 10. So yeah, that's kind of the work that we did with her. And most importantly with Brenda, the impact that she left on me is really the passion and the drive behind the purpose of why she wanted to do what she wanted to do with people that can then go on and buy their dream home or buy their dream car and provide for their families with the mission behind the work that she was doing. So those are just 3 clients in my long portfolio or my big portfolio of companies, 100+ companies that I've helped them scale their purpose and profit or their purpose and revenues to double, triple, and quadruple phases and stages of growth. So if you want to see more testimonials, more customer success stories, you can also go to our website, alonatheparentcoaching.com. And of course, on our LinkedIn profile. I'm very active on LinkedIn because lots of the companies that I support are on there as well. So yeah, I mean, where do we go from here? I would love to offer you a free 30-minute discovery call for your scaling needs of your company. I'll be more than happy to take a look at and listen to what is it that you've built thus far, some of the gaps you might be experiencing at this point with the scaling of your company. And then, of course, I'll be able to offer some great insight, I'm sure, from my experience and intuition as well. I use a lot of intuition in business as well, in addition to obviously lots of processes that are proven and those pillars that I talked about, so that I can offer you some insight on what some of those gaps you might be experiencing might be, and what is the impact that those gaps are having in your life, in your company's life, and so on, and how is it that we can get you further faster into the alignment between where you are and the vision that you have, that you want to create for your life and your business. So I'm going to put the link to my calendar, which fills up very, very fast. My time is very limited because of the time for training time for money piece that I talked about. So definitely grab a spot, and we'll be able to have a 30-minute chat conversation, and we can go from there. If my support is obviously something you're looking for, then I'll be happy to look for ways or offer ways to further support you with the scaling of your purpose and profit. If there are no other questions, I want to thank you for your valuable time. I think we always get taught that we need to make money, but we never really consider the time factor. We really need to buy back time in life, because time is the scarcest metric that we have. Money, we can always make it, because money will make us money if we know how to prioritize the right things and make the right decisions. But time is absolutely something that we don't get back. So I really appreciate your time today. I really hope that what I shared is definitely helped you connect some new dots in your company scaling journey, or business scaling journey. And yeah, I appreciate you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time with another event here at the Life School. Bye, everybody.